She said, I'm coming for your head. And I say, okay, now, this is what I want to hear. Last week, I found out that City Council, where I live, voted unanimously to double their salary. And I was really triggered by that. In a time like this, do you really think it's appropriate to double your salary as a public servant? And I don't think so. But I had to take a step back because I realized that it's my fault. I've never been to a city council meeting. I don't even know what they talk about. I know who my city council person is, but I'm not involved. And it's because of that I realized that I don't have any room to complain. So instead of being the type of person who just sits on the internet and complains about stuff, I decided that I'm just going to really just start to get involved, learn about what's going on. And so last night I attended my first city council meeting. It only lasted an hour. The meeting opened with a few words by a reverend from a local church who happened to also be my 9th grade teacher who had me doing 12th grade level work. But of course it was worth it. Then the meeting proceeded to the public comment period. Of course, citizens have to sign up in order to be able to speak. They have to give their name and the topic that they're going to speak about so that it is put on the agenda. There were 8 people who spoke, and 3 of those people spoke about issues that were directly related to the city, and 5 people spoke about their dissatisfaction with the city council not passing a resolution for a ceasefire in Gaza. I think that a request of that type seems like it would be more effective if you go to the state level. Your senators have a better opportunity to really make that influence on the federal level. The citizens who provided comments that were directly related to the city, they were fired up. Okay, I was like, I couldn't even believe it. One of them even made a threat to, she said, I'm coming for your head. And I say, okay, now, this is what I want to hear. I want to hear people getting passionate. I want to see that people are really taking this serious because things are really not in a good place. And I feel like based on some of the information that I've seen, activity from the council, they're throwing money at things that I don't agree with. They're throwing money at things that don't seem to have a proper root cause. I saw that recently there was $370,000 that was allocated to a handful of nonprofits to work on the issue with gun violence. And the language, in my opinion, doesn't really make much sense to me, and I don't really know how throwing money at a nonprofit is going to do it. So I'd like to know what these nonprofits are doing with the money, and I should know that because it's my money. A lot of these cities are in a downward spiral. The violence is out of control, and they're just constantly handing out money to these nonprofits who say that they're going to do something. But in my opinion, the root cause of the violence are the parents, okay? Why don't you know where your kids are? Why do your kids have guns? Why do your kids have access to this stuff? And I certainly understand there are some cases where, the parent is a good parent, but the kid strays and does what they want. But no, I think that there needs to be more accountability with the parents because it's just out of control. Anyway, the point is things are not getting any better. And the longer we sit on the internet and just complain and point out what's going on rather than getting involved, it's going to continue because they have been able to establish a level of power that gives them that ability to just do what they want. Why is this my first time going to a meeting? I just know if I don't get involved and start asking questions, I know I don't have any room to complain. And so I just want to encourage you to take a look at what's going on in your city, see where the money is going, okay? If you're tired of being taxed to death, which I am, it's just amazing the amount of taxes I have to pay. I have to pay so many. The behaviors that we're seeing from leadership, it tells us that they know exactly what they're doing and they're not planning on stopping, because what are we going to do? I think that we're at a pivotal moment, and it's really up to us to make a difference by any means necessary. So I would say that this message, take it and figure out what you need to do to make a change, because it's not going to get better unless we do. All right? Come to the internet for some inspiration to a certain point, but that's not all you need to do. I mean, it feels good to hear these messages, but what's next for you? Okay? I would encourage you, just search up your city, your county, whatever, figure out who is representing you, and figure out what they're doing with your money, how they're voting, what they're allocating this money to, because it's just, none of this is making sense. And one thing that really threw me off at this meeting was the council lady, I don't know what district she was from, but she closed out the meeting talking about how there's a church that runs a dog park, and for insurance reasons or some whatever, the church is unable to continue running the dog park. So they came to the council, and the council agreed to take over the payments and run. I'm like, what? Excuse me? People can walk their dogs in the street. I don't really see the point. Like, is that a valid use of my money? I would say no. If the dogs are not in danger, why would the city take on an expense like this? Okay? So I'm pretty sure that the people, if they didn't have access to a dog park, they would be just fine. But it's just these little things, and these little things add up. Just like everything else, like with your budget at home or whatever, these little things, they add up. And so we're gonna have to get back to the basics and really get serious about not having our money go to any and every little initiative. And also these initiatives that are actually important, we're gonna have to be able to understand, like, what was it actually spent on? Like I said, $370,000 to some nonprofits who are going to do some work to impact gun violence. Well, I'm pretty sure if I look back, they've allocated money like that to all these nonprofits before, but things continuously get worse. And so things are not getting better. Why you keep throwing money at it? Because you haven't done the proper root cause analysis. And a lot of this stuff is really a scam, okay? And we don't have time for that, all right? Time is of the essence. This place is crashing and burning, and we got to do something before it gets to the point where of no return. And we kind of feeling like we're there. Know what's going on around you, because if you don't really have room to complain, and you need to stay off the internet, stop complaining on the internet, get involved, y'all. Get involved, okay? Nobody's coming to save you, but you do have the power to save yourself.